Welcome back, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you guys probably saw in the name of this video, today is about my running story, where I was, where I am now, and where I hope to be in the future. So this video is not only for the purpose of you guys to get to know me as a person and as a runner. I really want everything I do in life to have a purpose and have a meaning. And with this channel, if I can just help one of you or a handful of you become and realize your potential, then I'm doing my job. Because what I want you to take away from this video today is that no matter whether you've been average your whole life or you've never had to try for anything and you've always just been a natural athlete, I want you to always keep working your hardest, because later in life you will regret if you didn't give it your all. And it's something, and if you can truly realize to what your full potential is and realize to have self-confidence, and you can believe in who you are and what you do and realize your purpose in life and what you have your purpose even in that moment. Because my track coach once told me, every time you step on that track, make it special, make magic happen. So before track and cross country, I actually did quite about every sport possible. You know, my big three was always football, basketball, baseball. I played some golf here and there. I tried tennis, wasn't very good at it. But going into high school, those are my three: football, basketball, and baseball. And I never thought anything would change that. I kind of showed interest after 7th grade. I got called Chubby by one of my brother's friends, which is actually how I got into running again in the first place. Was I started running on an elliptical to lose weight, even though I was perfectly healthy and a perfect weight. I just thought there was something wrong with me because I had a chubby face. But he didn't say it was that I had a chubby face. I thought it's just because I was chubby. So I started running on an elliptical, which is a curse because bad for your form and that. But however, that kind of got my start. And then from there, I was like, you know, I kind of like this. I have a passion for it. So I was like, in 8th grade, I was like, hey mom, I want to do track. She was like, hey, well, I never told you this, but I actually ran track in high school. And then I coached at the local high school after college, and I also ran in college for cross country 2 years at SIU, a D1 school. So I didn't really know that, and that kind of surprised me. But, you know, that's where I kind of got my start. But it's not where I began to love the sport yet. Okay, I don't think I was fully passionate about the sport yet until sophomore year, and until I realized, hey, this is something I want to do, and this is something I want to take my future to as well. And so after sophomore year, I actually dropped all other sports except for running. I dropped basketball junior year, and I dropped football for cross country sophomore year. So that was the evolution of where I was kind of changing from sport to where I am now. In 8th grade, actually, I remember it. To make a name for myself, even if it was just in the school. You know, looking back at it, I kind of sound geeky thinking about that. But I was never, you know, I was kind of standoutish in a little sports, but I was always just average. Even in running, especially in running. I was nothing special, but I was nothing stellar. I was nothing out of the normal. Nothing, you know, where you'd be like, oh, wow, that kid has a promising future. That was never me in track, you know. I was good. I was pretty good at all other sports I did, but running isn't one of those things that came natural. I mean, being average came natural to me, but if I ever wanted to be anything more than that, I really was that kid that had to put in more work. But my ultimate goal in 8th grade when I started running, believe it or not, was actually just to try and make it to state or be the top 2 on the team for my first year. So right now, as I'm sure you know, but if you don't, I'm a senior in high school, doing the college recruiting process, and you know, I just got done with my senior season across, so I'm going into track, and I'm still trying to make a name for myself. Cross season didn't go perfectly at all as how I planned, and I kind of crumpled mentally, but you know, I'm fighting back from that, and I'm kind of realizing I know what my true potential is finally, and I know what I can accomplish, and I have these goals set in front of me that I know I can accomplish, and I just want to grab my fate that I know is in front of me. And every time I go to bed, I know that's the person I want to be. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'll wake up and be like, yeah, I'm going to be a state athlete. I'm going to be on that podium. I'm going to prove those who always thought I was a middle run-of-the-pack kind of kid that they're wrong and I'm something special. And I would hopefully, right now I'm actually trying to work on obtaining a walk-on scholarship or getting a scholarship at a smaller school or walking onto a big Division I school. My goals are pretty easy. Next year I would definitely like to be under 410 at college. You know, something that's always drawn me towards something is the mile. Although I would like to do steeplechase in college. I've done one steeplechase race. It was probably the most fun I've ever had in a race. My goals within this next year are to be a state athlete, you know, sign with a school, whether it's a walk-on or a smaller D2 or D3, and I'm on there on a scholarship, or if I'm a walk-on at a big school, you know, that's fine with me because you can always work your way up into scholarship in the following years, which would be one of my goals if I was at one of those schools. But I know I always rise to the occasion and compete with what I'm brought against. That's something I've always been able to do since I'm the youngest in my grade, and I've always been playing with these older kids, 1, sometimes 2 years older than me, and I've always hung around with them. So in these upcoming years, I definitely want to develop as an athlete at college, and I want to be someone who's an actual threat, whether it's at a conference level or beyond that. So this is something that actually I've thought a lot about recently, of why I kind of do what I do. And to me, it took a long time of pondering, kind of thinking to myself and just exploring why I'm even running still. Because sometimes it just feels like a job or something that you kind of have to do. But I kind of realized that, and I realized I have to change that, and I kind of have to go back to the way of how I love this sport, and I just love getting out there and running, and kind of having that clear headspace is when I feel the best about myself and who I am. And so that's really why I love this sport, and every day I step on that track. My coach once told me last year, he's like, every time you step on that track, make something special happen. Go on there and do your best to make something magic happen. And that's the end goal for me, is making something special happen. And when that's your end goal and you know what your why is, it changes the whole game. I mean, when I realized I wanted to be a college athlete and a state athlete and be a top competitor over this more recent period, I had this just change of competitiveness, this desire to keep on going at all costs and to never really give up and take everything with a learning experience, because it'll always benefit you. And so that always keeps me motivated. That's an easy one for me. I know those guys that are on my team already heard this answer from me at a speech I had at one of our practices about our advice to seniors. Mine was, I'd go back to when I was a freshman and a sophomore, when I truly didn't give it everything I had. For those viewers that are here are earlier in the grades, whether you're in middle school or a freshman or sophomore, take advantage of that time. Don't waste it. Really realize the opportunity that you have before you. You know, it's something not a lot of people will have the opportunity. Not everyone develops a passion for something like a lot of runners do. It's something that truly is just a gift from above. And if you're able to realize that early, the sooner the better, and you are able to give it 110% every day, and you know when you leave practice, it's everything you have every single day, you're going to benefit it in the long run. You're not going to regret it. And even if you decide running's not for me, at least you weren't wasting your time doing something only at 50% of your potential. You know you gave it everything you had, and then that way you'll have no regrets. Because for me, it kind of haunts me to think I could be so much better than I am if I just gave it my all those 2 years. It's something that really discourages me, because I wish I tried so much harder. When my coaches weren't looking, me and my teammates would just mess around. I would try on the track, but no other way. I didn't do a distance run. I didn't run over the weekend. I didn't eat properly. I didn't sleep properly. I didn't drink enough water. I didn't do anything I should be, except for when it came to doing a track workout. That's the only time. And then I just had this weird concept that I still thought I was all that when it came to running. And even though I wasn't giving it as much as I could be. And that is something that really kind of hovers over me and something I wish I could change. I have this quote that I just love so much, and it's whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. And this kind of is part of the reason that it motivates me, because I was always someone who didn't always think I could do everything I thought I could, and people always told me I couldn't do things, so I started to believe it. And when you believe those people, you're truly just shutting down your dreams. But if you just live your dreams and just go for it and just ignore what everyone else thinks and just do what you believe in and do what you know you're capable of, because in order to do something, you have to believe it first. That's the first step to anything, is you have to believe in yourself first. And then from then, it just opens a world of opportunity. And from that moment where I truly realized that whether I think I can or whether I think I can't, that I control my own destiny. These people that don't believe in me, they don't control my destiny. I control my own destiny, and no one else can have a say or a factor in what I do. And so that's what I really want you guys to take away from this, is that you guys can be capable of so much, and if you can just realize your potential and what you can do in life, it doesn't even have to be running related or sports related. It can just be applied to anything. I know that I'm doing something good if I can help someone realize their full potential. But thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you guys can know when I post. I really appreciate the support I've been getting recently, and I'm sorry for not being able to upload and being late, not lazy, but not uploading consistently, not having the time to upload. It's unfortunately because of the weather. I haven't been able to get to where I needed to film and record and get to my editor's house and stuff like that, so it makes this all a little bit stressful to get this done. But in the next upcoming weeks, everything's going to be back on track now that the weather is going back to normal. We'll go back to the same uploads, and hopefully everything turns a lot better. And sorry for the slack on my end. Hopefully things will get picked up, and this channel will be doing some good things and more content coming out soon. Make sure you're subscribed, and thank you for the support again. And if you have any videos you want to see, please leave them down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have or advice that you guys want to give. I really appreciate it, and thank you.